All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back. We've got another deep dive ready for you today. And let me tell you, this one's a real head scratcher. You guys sent in some really thought-provoking stuff this time around.
Yeah, this batch of sources is all about social media and happiness,
Yep.
or maybe I should say social media versus happiness. It's a topic a lot of folks are grappling with these days, right?
hmm
Trying to figure out how all those likes and shares actually stack up against, well, genuine happiness.
Right. Like, we all know how easy it is to get caught up in that online world presenting this perfect version of ourselves.
Uh,
The filtered photos, witty captions, the whole nine yards. But the question is, are we actually happier because of it, or are we just kind of performing happiness for the internet?
that's exactly the question these sources are digging into. One of the things that jumped out at me was this line, and I apologize in advance for my pronunciation. Eh, cu-
Ooh, yeah, I remember that one.
It basically translates to you take 100 selfies a day. Now, obviously that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it really highlights this obsession we have with capturing and sharing these perfect little snapshots of our lives.
Mhm.
And let's be honest, we're usually not posting selfies when we're feeling down, are we?
Absolutely not. It's all about showing off the good stuff, right? The vacations, the fancy meals, the big achievements. It's like everyone's living in this perpetual state of bliss, which, let's face it, is just not realistic.
Right, and that's where this idea of a superficial picture comes in.
Hmm?
Social media often presents this very one-dimensional, idealized version of reality. It's all smiles and sunshine, which can create this illusion that everyone else is happy all the time while you're the only one struggling.
It's so easy to fall into that comparison trap, and it can make you feel like you're not measuring up, even though you know deep down that most of what you see online is just a carefully constructed facade.
Exactly. And that brings us to another key point from the sources, the concept of elanke, eleconic kaulan, okay, which roughly translates to pretending to be happy for the world. It's this idea that we often put on a happy face for social media, even when we're feeling anything but.
Oh, I am so guilty of that. I mean, who hasn't posted a picture of themselves looking all happy and carefree while secretly dealing with some major drama behind the scenes?
Right. We're essentially decorating life with a fake smile, is one of the sources put it. And while there's nothing wrong with wanting to share positive moments, it can become problematic when we start to feel pressured to present this flawless, constantly happy image all the time.
It's like we're all in this unspoken competition to see who can appear the most content, the most successful, the most, well.
Instagrammable.
And in the process, we end up hiding our true selves and our real emotions behind this carefully crafted online persona.
And that can have a real impact on our mental well-being. Think about it. If you're constantly presenting this perfect version of yourself online, it becomes harder to express vulnerability, to share your struggles, to connect with others on a deeper level.
It creates this disconnect, right, between who we are online and who we are in real life. And it can make us feel like we have to live up to this impossible standard of perfection.
And that's why the sources really emphasize this idea that true happiness is an inside job. It's not about external validation or appearances. It's about cultivating inner peace, self-acceptance, and genuine connection.
It's about feeling good in your own skin, regardless of what other people think or what your social media feed looks like. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human emotions, not just the ones that get you the most likes.
Exactly. There's this great line in one of the sources that really captures this idea. Basically, you happy I can't try. The coupon try about to come. Basically, you're not actually happy, you're just acting happy.
Oof, that hits close to home.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wake-up call, isn't it? It's like, wait a minute, am I really happy? Or am I just going through the motions, putting on a show for the internet?
And the thing is, that kind of acting happy might get you a temporary boost, like a little dopamine rush from all those likes and comments. But it's not sustainable, is it? It's like eating candy for dinner. It might satisfy you in the moment, but it's not going to nourish you in the long run.
And that brings us to another powerful line from the sources. Vad fasen är för gärna med play hook up där kan I. Lopez do kan call por the cosmos nearby. Haha. In other words, your smile is fake because happiness is not something to show outside. It is something to feel within.
What's really interesting about that is the way it shifts the focus inward. It's not about seeking validation from others. It's about cultivating a deep sense of happiness and contentment that comes from within.
And that can be a real challenge in today's world, right? We're bombarded with messages that tell us we need to look a certain way, achieve certain things, be constantly connected and on in order to be happy.
Yeah, it's like we're always striving for something just out of reach. And in the process, we often neglect the things that truly matter: our inner well being, our relationships, our connection to ourselves.
Which is why the sources really stress the importance of self-awareness and balance.
Hmm.
It's about recognizing the difference between the curated image we present online and the reality of our inner lives.
It's about acknowledging that it's okay to have bad days, to feel sad or frustrated or just plain blah. It's about embracing the full human experience, messiness and all.
And it's about being mindful of how we use social media. It can be a great tool for connecting with others and sharing positive experiences, but it's important to remember that it's just a snapshot, a highlight reel, not the whole story.
Right. It's like comparing your behind the scenes footage to someone else's carefully edited final cut. It's just not a fair comparison.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into these sources, I think the key takeaway is this: true happiness is an inside job. It's about cultivating inner peace and contentment, not chasing external validation. It's about honoring your authentic self, flaws and all. And it's about finding a balance between sharing your joy online and respecting your inner world.
And on that note, I think the sources leave us with a really important question to ponder. Alla prosum galkat mo. Of gore pa gol comment sopia pastin bole kun.
Ito piitsupol mga bat uvari saptuat. Actually, yaran matruda basko ya ito fudi kachi yun. Yaman paano kita mo.
Kaya ko umpile ito. Excuse me, sagot. Are we recognizing our real emotions, or are we constantly living behind a mask for the outside world?
That's a good one. So, folks, as you go about your week, scrolling through those feeds and posting your own perfectly curated snapshots, take a moment to check in with yourself. Ask yourself, am I truly happy? Or am I just performing happiness? And what can I do to cultivate more of that genuine, lasting joy that comes from within? That's something to think about. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive, and we'll see you next time for more explorations into the fascinating world of ideas.
See you then.